All right, welcome to how to do an SI prefix conversion. To do this, I'm going to be looking at your homework. In this video, I'm going to do the first problem. In the next video, I'm going to do the second problem. Since both of these are conversions, of course, the first thing you've got to do is you've got to start your factor label system. I'm going to draw a nice long line here because I don't know how much work I'm going to need to do here. And what we're going to do is just like every other problem we're going to do in chemistry, we are going to start with the number that's in the problem. So we have 12.3 nanoliters. So I am going to put 12.3 nano. If I consult the chart up top here, nano is abbreviated with a little n. And I remember from yesterday that liters is abbreviated capital L. That is also in the chart in the upper right-hand corner. So that's where we're going to start. Where do we want to end? We want to know how many liters. So this is where we are going to end. So there's step 1 and step 2. Oops. Let me fix my camera here a little bit. There we go. Now y'all can mostly see what I'm writing. So liters is right here. Oh, thank you for auto-adjusting the camera. Liters goes out here at the end. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. We need to adjust this. We need to fix this. And I'm going to tell you the easiest way to do that is using factor label. You may have been taught like a stepwise sort of thing in middle school science or in physical science. But the problem is nano is often not in that step. So this is a great one for us to do. To be able to do all the prefixes, you need to be able to do the mathematical way. All right. And this is just like the problems we did yesterday. Since I have nanoliters here, what do I have to do? Where do I put nanoliters on this side? It's got to go on the bottom, and it's got to go on the bottom so that we can cancel out the nanoliters. I can always go from a unit with a prefix to the base unit, which is this exact same thing without the nano, right? So I can put liters up top. I can always go to something with a prefix to something without a prefix, right? To that same something, I should say, right? That same base unit without the prefix. So here we've got nanoliters. I'm just going to drop the nano. I can put liters up top. All right. Whenever you're doing this conversion, you're going to hear me say this again in the next video. We always put a 1 in front of the prefix. Always put a 1 in front of the prefix. In front of the base unit, in this case liters, we're going to put scientific notation. So the scientific notation we need is the scientific notation for that number for nano right there. So we're going to go back up here to our chart and we're going to look and we're going to see that nano means 1 times 10 to the negative 9. So we're going to do 1 times 10 to the negative 9. And the reason I can do that, right, is because 1 nanoliter is equal to 1 times 10 to the negative 9 liters. And that makes sense because if we look, right, that's just what nano means. Nano means 1 times 10 to the negative 9. So referring what we did yesterday, I can put this fraction here because both of these things are equal to one another. Easy peasy. All right, that's actually it for this problem because if you look, nanoliters cancels out. Boom, boom, gone, gone. And the only thing we're left with is liters. Okay, some folks want to take a shortcut and they say, hey, why don't I just put nano instead of liters, right, since we're canceling it out? Come up with a system that works for you, that's cool. This is the system that works for me. All right, now comes the trick of plugging this into our calculator. And I have to find my calculator. It is always wandering off when you need it the most, and that is terrible. I'll be right back. Well, there's 10 seconds I could cut out of this video. Anyways, here's the calculator, all right? And so one of the most important things is knowing how to not type in 12.3. I hope everybody can type in 12.3. And then we multiply by this number right here. Now, a lot of people are tempted on their calculator to type in 1, and then times, and then 10, and then caret to the negative 9. Don't do it that way. Whenever you plug in scientific notation, your calculator already has a way to plug that in. Now, if you're using the calculator that comes with your Chromebook, you're going to have to turn it into scientific mode, and it'll be able to do the same thing. And what you're looking for is this EE button, or on some calculators like this one, you have to hit second and go to EE. That EE stands for engineering exponent, and it's actually what engineers call scientific notation. So what we're going to do is we're going to do times. To plug in 1 times 10 to the negative 9, we go 1 EE negative 9. Just like that. That right there, entered into my calculator, means 1 times 10 to the negative 9. And you notice how it's kind of small and a little raised up on this calculator. I believe on this calculator, if you have one that looks like this, we do 1 EE negative 9. Oops, negative 9. It looks just exactly the same. Oh well. Some calculators have a little tiny 10 times 10 to the on their calculators. Those calculators are really neat. Then don't forget, so that was times, and then we divide by 1 equals this number right here. Notice our instructions say we have to give all answers in 2 decimal places in scientific notation. I do not want to have to actually convert this number into scientific notation because I'm a good chemist, and that means I'm lazy. All good chemists are lazy, by the way. So I'm going to take a shortcut here. I'm going to have my calculator convert this into scientific notation. If I hit second, and that's 5, there's a psi button right there. It converts it into scientific notation for me. And you'll notice in the other one, that 3 got cut off there, right? It was just a 1, 2 out at the very end. This one had a 3. Now I got to be careful when I write this into my onto my page here. I can't write it like this. I have to write it in the original scientific notation like this, which is 1.23 times 10 to the negative 8. And that's the answer. I can now plug that in as my answer.